Thank you. It's great to be part of this convention, and it is great to be a Republican. Overstock and I are proud of the commitment that we've made, both in terms of resources and money, that have helped many good conservative candidates and our party achieve significant victories. That said, I know that it is you that make this party great. And while many in the press disparage and in the downtown elite disparage you, our neighborhood town hall meetings, and our caucus convention system, you are not political piñatas. You are the active and committed leaders of our state. Thank you for all that you do. There is a saying, leadership is what leadership does. Leadership isn't about talking or holding a position, it's about doing. As my friend Senator Mike Lee frequently says, it's time for us to start just talking, to stop just talking about Ronald Reagan and start acting like him. I can tell you that it's a dangerous day in any organization, or in a state for that matter, is the day that it gets ranked number one in something, the day that it is praised, the day that it begins to believe its own press. You see, it's dangerous because it's easy to get lulled into a sense of complacency and to live off accolades of the past, remembering yesterday, rather than focusing on creating a better tomorrow. Utah will not lead the nation tomorrow because we have been a good place to do business last year. Leadership is always about the future. My experience has convinced me that leadership is important in any endeavor, but it's particularly important in public service. Remember, our responsibility as a party is to elect or hire great leaders. And the quality of leaders we hire will determine the quality of our government. The right kind of government is one that gets out of the way so that individuals, families, neighborhoods, and communities can thrive. Leadership matters. And with the challenges we'll face in the upcoming years, it matters now more than ever. I've found that effective leadership is not just managing. Leading isn't just cheerleading or high approval ratings. Leadership isn't taking action the day before facing the Republican delegates on something where we should have taken action weeks or months or years ago. Leadership isn't about giving lip service to states' rights and looking to Washington for solutions. No, thank you. No, leadership is about performance, not position. Leadership takes good and turns it into great. I repeat, leadership is what leadership does. My name is Jonathan Johnson, and I am ready to lead the state of Utah. I'm making it official. I want to be Utah's next governor. During the months ahead, I will continue to do what I've done for the last year, traveling the state, reaching out to you and your neighbors, listening to your concerns and your ideas about the future for our families, neighborhoods, and communities. I will also be sharing my ideas for how we can turn Utah from good to great. Now, we have a governor who will have served 7.5 years in that position. And I know he wants to keep his job for a third term. Many of you will be delegates at next spring's nominating convention. You will need to make a decision. Who will you trust to lead? Who will you hire to be our party's nominee for governor. I ask that you spend the next several months getting to know me. Put me through a rigorous interview process. I'm confident that you'll see that my candidacy represents the difference between someone who leads and someone who merely manages. True leadership creates opportunities for meaningful discussion and debate. I propose, to help you evaluate me and our current governor, that we hold a series of debates, job interviews for our next leader, if you will. Let's begin them in October. Let's hold them early, often, and throughout the state, before the clamor of the presidential election gets any louder and before the legislative session. This will allow all Utahns to know how he and I differ and understand our leadership strengths, styles, and priorities. Behind me on the screen is a number. If you think holding these types of debates is a good idea, take out your phone and text "debate yes" to that number. If you don't like the idea of such debates, text "debate no." Frankly, I believe every Utahn deserves a side-by-side comparison, a straightforward discussion from Governor Herbert and me on the critical issues Utah faces. For example, let's debate how we actually will improve education. Will we continue to allow the federal government to manage local education through Common Core? Or will we lead by empowering parents and local teachers with education dollars and decisions? Let's debate how we preserve, thank you. Let's debate how we preserve states' rights. Will we continue to allow the federal government to manage our lands, or will we lead Western states by reclaiming our land from the federal government? Let's debate how we become fiscally self-reliant as a state. Will we continue to manage Utah's budget with $4 billion, or 30%, coming from Washington, D.C.? Or will we proactively lead and prepare for what happens when D.C. runs out of money? Will we debate? Let's debate how we prepare for growth. Will we continue to manage the future through poll after poll after poll? Or will we actively lead and develop a sustainable, long-term clean air and water policy without job-killing regulations? These are only 4 of the many issues that we face and that we should discuss before the next election. Again, if you think early and frequent debates is a good idea, take out your phone and text "debate yes" to the number on the screen. If not, text "debate no." Utah is a great state. We can make it even better. I am ready to lead Utah. Hire me to be your next governor, because it's time for us to act like Ronald Reagan, paint with bold colors, and hire a leader who has a bigger vision for a brighter future for the state of Utah. Join me on this journey. Together, we can make this vision a reality, because that's what leaders do. Thank you very much.